Hi, Nessa.
Welcome back, everyone.
People are joining back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, so people, when we close the rooms, they get a choice to either self-select back, like click on the link, or they just get kicked out in 6 seconds. 5, 4.
Yeah,
It's
I've raced the timer where I've been talking and then I've been talking fast, but you know, it's like trying to get it out.
like, no, and here they all are.
Welcome back, everybody.
Sorry if you got cut off. It's always, it feels so weird. You're like, I wasn't done.
All right, and that's okay not to be done at this point. Again, we were just trying to provide, the resources, get you started thinking about ideas. Hopefully, you guys form something, if not now, throughout the week now, so that we can get through some tuning stuff and really kind of give you guys something that you can use.
All right, okay. Great. Who wants to share? Carrie, do you want to share your screen for the last?
Sure.
Of the but this one would be of the slide deck that people were just working on.
Yeah, let me grab that. Oops. Present. All right, can you see it?
We're learning that 45 minutes online is about 5 minutes in real life time. So that's what it feels like.
Okay. Tina, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, so I had to go down to breakout. So on this one of the things, this is a very quick activity, way quicker than what we would normally spend, but it gets everybody into this. And so if you didn't finish your row, totally understandable. If you didn't finish, maybe do that as homework, because the goal is to have everybody walk away with a bunch of different ideas that they can then access and pull from that will help them out with their practice later on. So I'm just going to find, there were 2 that I was kind of scrolling through that I got really excited about, probably because I'm a dork. But the first one I found in room 6 that I thought was really exciting was the on number 3, content, Civil War reenactment with different elements of the Civil War. To me, that's really exciting. So I want to find whoever put that one in there, because I want to see how they're planning their exhibition, because I think that's really exciting. And then I saw another one down here that I thought was really interesting around sustainable cities and looking at like 3D models or online models or digital blueprints, which I think is exciting. Using SketchUp, there's a lot of wonderful programs that you can grab onto. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrew.
Can you actually bring it up? Because I don't have that.
Sure.
Being readily available on my hands right now, and I know we're running out of time.
So,
so
okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll do number 2, and then there was one on the next page. So let's look at 2.
Number.
Wait. Here we go. There was one that was about students thinking about significant people in their lives. And there was a YouTube live that they were going to schedule. And I really like that because, it's mimicking kind of that live audience, and they can invite the significant people and share with them. I think that can create a powerful experience. And I think exhibitions are filled with these powerful experiences for students and participants that create kind of that create those signature moments. Let's see, we got Podbean in here, which cool. That's the one that I was experimenting with. It's also cool because there's other things that I had to do to get onto Podbean. Like I had to consider what kind of logo are we going to make. And so I had to play around with other digital tools to figure out how I was going to make a cool logo for that. And that's something that you can differentiate the tasks within your class to other students that might have a little bit more of a creative outlet they'd like to explore. So yeah.
See if there's another. That was the sustainable cities.
Yeah, there was. Oh, that's cool too. That's cool. There was one about creating like social distancing activities and students using Flipgrid to kind of share out the social distancing things that I read on there, and I thought that was kind of cool too, because I think part of meaningful work is doing stuff that's relevant and connected to the real circumstances in life right now, and that would allow students to explore it in their own way and also put their signature on it. And right now, especially where there's a lot of uncertainty and there can be a lot of kind of, people in different places, we're not all in a classroom, that gives students an opportunity to share their unique experiences. And it honors and elevates their experiences in their own places and spaces.
Yeah.
So really, really cool ideas.
Yeah.
So just to remind you that you're going to have access to all these ideas. We're going to condense them into one slide deck that I think that Adam is going to be sending out. I am also going to put right now the exit card link if you did want to, just while it's fresh in your mind, click on that. I think somebody in the last session took it and it took 1 minute. So it's really just which session did you go to, and then there's a few drop-down choices. It really helps us get feedback on these sessions, these very quick sessions. And I know that Andrew has to jump off because he is helping with the next session, but Adam and Andrew have been teaching partners for a while. So Adam is going to stick around and he can answer some of those questions if any of those are about those projects. Carrie's going to stick around and answer questions. I'm also going to stick around, and we will be online until 3. For those of you that are taking off now, thank you so much for joining. I don't know if anyone else has anything else they want to add, but this was great and really quick and wonderful to see faces of educators from all over.
Hey, thank all of you for joining. It was awesome to have a chance to collaborate with, colleagues and peers in education. Doing good work for kids. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Adam. Adam knows everything I know, so. and more. So I'll be able to answer any questions. All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
All right.
So anyone who's sticking around, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask questions, or if you are more comfortable typing it in the chat, totally fine.
I have a question.
Sure.
This is Annie. I'm in elementary school, and I know most of you are high school, but we still struggle with the integration or just the time of making math what it needs to be as we go through these kinds of projects. So I know that you guys have been focusing on that, like kind of the last year from last time when I attended. I was wondering how the elementary schools are doing, or even just the high school. If you've changed anything and found something working better.
I'm most familiar with North County Elementary, and I know that they're doing CGI Math. And so
Okay.
what I've noticed with, and this was after talking to one of the, I think she is a 3rd grade teacher, is that she said that by using CGI Math, that it's like, as opposed to thinking of like, and now I'm going to teach something about math that's independent than the project, it's that they're using mathematical thinking, and they're bringing up in ways like whatever the project ends up being, that they can say like, okay, and so here we're using our mathematical thinking around this. And so it might seem like a separate lesson, but it's happening during like the course of the school day. So it doesn't end up feeling like we're going to teach math and then we're going to do projects.
Right.
And so I have been in the other 2 elementary schools, but I am more familiar with the North County approach. And so to me, it feels pretty integrated in that it's talked about as this like mathematical thinking that applies across all of our subjects, and using that. I don't know if it's helpful or if anyone wants to add anything else. No.
Yeah, I mean, I just know at the high school level, I'm a humanities teacher in my school right now, partnered with a math, and Andrew, who you just spoke with, is a chemistry teacher. And ours is completely integrated just within our team. We usually, when we were in session, we were doing a rocketry project. So the math and fit very well into that project, but that was one way we were doing it.
And in the middle school, our 8th grade was doing it different than every other school. So I was teaching kind of the engineering science component, and I had a partner math teacher. But Annie, if you're interested, what I can do is I can share out. She's done a lot with looking at, I guess she does a lot with like dialogical math with her students. And so if you were interested, I could get your email and I could share out like the resources that she's used in her class.
Okay. So the teachers I work with are 6th grade, and I know they struggle with it. So that would be great.
Yeah. So if you want, I'll go ahead and I'll put my email in the chat. You can just email me directly, and then I can send you what Katie has. So that's my email.
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah, and just let me know that you're looking for math resources for middle school, and I can share with you what Katie's got.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hi, everyone.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So just in general down at High Tech High, how much responsibility, or maybe how are you enforcing the responsibility on students? Like, is there during this period to maintain their work and engage? Because, you know, like I'm coming at my kids with like, yeah, let's keep doing stuff. And like, yeah, this is, you should be excited. And like, yeah, this is important. But I have a lot of students who are, you know, pretty checked out. And I also, at this time, I'm not like, well, it really matters. So if you're checking out, like you're doing terrible because we're in, you know, this pandemic time. And so I'm just kind of wondering, I know you guys aren't failing students or something, but just kind of what's your attitude, or what kind of progress are you seeing in general down there?
Yeah.
I can, you know, I think each one of us has to make a decision. We're fortunate at High not to have like an admin top-down policy that tells us exactly how to handle this. One of the things we agreed on as a staff at our school is that using grades as a lever right now might not be the best practice. So what I'm trying to do, and this is just me personally, what I'm trying to do with students that are completely checked out is I'm engaging them on a personal level and trying to just get a glimpse into what they're doing in their life on the day-to-day, and then trying to fit some kind of project or academics into that. So for example, I had one student that I didn't hear from for the first, you know, week of classes, and tried calling home, emails, all that stuff. Spanish speaking student as a primary language. So eventually my friend Judy, who works in our school, who is the EL coordinator, got a hold of him, and he got a hold of me and expressed that he was really into health and fitness right now. So I'm trying to give him things around that kind of curriculum just to try to keep him engaged on some level. So I think it's a person-to-person, team-by-team basis, but trying to meet them where they're at is sort of the philosophy I'm taking right now.
So we're kind of in a similar situation. So I'm middle school, we've got 8th grade. And I think in the first 2 weeks, it was really kind of, we were looking at which kids are showing up and just kind of trying to document which students are kind of coming to the different classes, who's showing up for me, who's showing up for math. And I've got kids that aren't showing up for my class at all, but they've shown up somewhere. And so we're celebrating the fact that they've shown up for something. And then, you know, reaching out to parents and making sure, like sending out surveys around needs and wants, and just their situations. And so I've got probably 10 kiddos that I'm not going to get a ton of work out of because of just their life situation right now, either in terms of technology, they don't have the right technology, or they don't have enough technology at their house to support everybody. So they have multiple siblings trying to be on 2 computers while mom and dad are also trying to work, or mom and dad are working from home, creating a situation where kids don't have a place where it's quiet for them to do homework or to do schoolwork. And so there's a lot of individualized kind of, I guess, designing happening. So, you know, my project, you know, the things that I'm working with kids that I've put out there work for about 80% of my students. And then 20% it's not working for. And so I'm really having to try to figure out, you know, what does that look like for them?
I want to just share something with you that I found. So I work at the North County campus. It's a high school, and we gave a survey to the students. What's working well? What are some things you could improve on? And if you read through this is just everything. It's all over the place, you know? So there's like some kids that are saying like it's just, I don't know what, as I read through the entire document today, I was thinking like, it's just so all over the place. Like, it's really hard. Like one student here is saying, I don't know how to self-motivate. I've been struggling since this started. I feel like online learning's not for me. And, so it's like we're getting this information. And I think the thing that's helpful is to get the information now, is to figure out who is that teacher connecting with, like Carrie said, to figure out what you can do to understand that particular student situation. And if you do two things during this time, which is helping students connect with each other and provide an adult mentor in their life that is there to support them, then I think like our jobs are done. Like, I think that most teachers that I've talked to are less concerned about covering a certain amount of content and more concerned with like making sure that, our students' brain health is where it can be in this time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, that helps.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Any other last questions? We have about 4 minutes before our next one.
No?
Cool.
Yay. All right.
So we're going to be I'll be sending out an email shortly that has all the links that were relevant today, as well as an exit ticket.
Okay, Adam, I'll go ahead and I'll put the slide decks together right now.
I linked it in already, so we should be set.
You're so good.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Cool.
See, there's a life skill right there. That's a tip.
My job is just
a life pro tip. If you wait long enough, someone else will do it for you.
No, that's my job at High Tech High. I harness Andrew's genius. I take his ideas and give them structure.
Okay, good job.
All right, I'm going to stop recording.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
Bye.